Today I'm going to be talking about Pixar's 15th film, Inside Out, since it's being released on DVD and Blu-ray this week. I was thoroughly impressed by how creative the story was for this movie. The idea of getting inside someone's mind has been done before, like in the show Herman's Head, and Being John Malkovich, Nightmare on Elm Street, though this movie just constantly builds upon that premise with all kinds of clever ideas, each of which could have almost been a movie all to themselves. It felt like taking a college psych class, but way more fun. Like learning about Sigmund Freud illustrated with the game Candyland.
This movie anthropomorphizes this 11-year-old girl's emotions inside her conscious mind. And we have this struggle to steer her emotions like jurors in a courtroom vying to control how she'll react to the different situations and crises she's faced with, and how she'll react emotionally.
Pixar creates this amazing and beautiful fantasy world in the same vein as Big Hero 6 and Wreck-It Ralph, or what you see in certain episodes of Futurama. The adventure inside her head is really what drives this film. It literally shows the adage, be kind to people because you don't know what kind of struggle is going on inside their head. We get a snapshot of this girl's very mundane life in Minnesota, where she's content playing hockey and hanging out with her parents and best friend, until her family abruptly moves to San Francisco, which doesn't seem very inviting, and her house is just drab, which is a sharp contrast to the kaleidoscope of colors and originality in her head. Luckily, the real stars of this movie are in her head, and so is the real conflict and adventure. Amy Poehler could seriously get an Academy Award for this movie. Her role of Joy was so believable that she could make daily affirmation tapes to improve people's self-esteem. Parks and Recreation is over, maybe she could start a new career like a Tony Robbins. Phyllis Smith from The Office also gives an excellent performance as the role of Sadness. She's like Velma from Scooby-Doo before she found her passion of unmasking ghouls and monsters as disgruntled carnival owners. She mopes around in this sweet monotone voice, and you just want to throw a party for her to cheer her up, even though you know she's a lost cause. I like how they wrote her character. Like, she seems harmless, but she could sneak up on you and stab you in the back and sabotage your mental health when you're least expecting it. Richard Kind gives a very heartfelt performance as the unofficial sixth emotion, Riley's imaginary friend Bing Bong. He's a mishmash of an elephant and other animals and cotton candy, like if Willy Wonka was on the island of Dr. Moreau. I like to think of him as Snuffleupagus' zany uncle. He totally steals the scenes that he's in, and he's an effective catalyst for moving the plot along. He'd be a great character for a show in one of the Disney parks, and here's hoping they revive one of the outdated pavilions at Epcot with an Inside Out attraction. If they can add a Frozen ride to Norway, and a Finding Nemo ride in the aquarium, certainly they can add an Inside Out attraction. They even show Figment from the Imagination ride at Epcot in this movie. Maybe Disney can license the image of sadness on bottles of Prozac.
I'd buy that.
I feel like the story in Riley's real life could have been better though. She moves to San Francisco and she's immediately traumatized by moving in a row house near Lombard Street and eating hipster broccoli pizza. She doesn't even get taunted at school and she becomes despondent and numb inside and wants to run away after the first day. I feel like they could have raised the stakes somehow. I know this is a Pixar movie, but Toy Story 3 got pretty dark. Maybe her family should have moved to San Francisco. She could have gone to robotics school with Hiro Hamada, and he could have made her a costume, and she could have been a hockey girl in a superhero team. Hiro lost his parents and his brother, and he coped better than Riley. They can't make a sequel to this movie because Riley would kill herself if she gets a B or breaks up with a boy. I just wonder if someone will edit a version of this movie with all the parts inside Riley's head taken out. This movie would be as depressing as a DC Comics movie, and boring. I can see why they made the main character a girl, because if it was a boy, he'd have a sixth emotion, Ritalin. It would be a strict nun who constantly whacks the other emotions with a ruler when they reach for the controls. And it'd have a Hitler mustache and sound like the mother of the Fratelli brothers in the Goonies. I had a lot of fun watching this movie, and I'm glad Pixar got an original story in before they start making more sequels. And I'm going to have fun finding all the Easter eggs in the DVD release. I just started this channel, so I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a comment or two, and I can show you what's inside my head, which is pretty much like an AA meeting, and every emotion is just shame, and they all sound like Woody Allen. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.